And that is where our next guest can help. Darryl Webster is the author of How to Successfully Help Your Student Athlete Earn a College Scholarship, A Parent's Guide. But there's so much more to his story. We are excited to hear about it today. Darryl, thanks for coming in today.
Hey, thank you guys for having me.
I want to talk about this book. We both want to learn more about this book. But let me ask you first, you've dedicated your life to helping children.
Yes.
Why? What inspires you?
Well, I'm a social worker by profession. I've been doing this work for 24 years, and what inspired me was my grandfather. My grandfather only had a 4th grade education. I never knew my own father. He took me under his wing and kind of loved me in a way that made me want to help other kids. I remember when I was 12 years old, I came home with my friends, and he would give me a quarter, but he also gave my friends a quarter too. And I was like, Granddad, why are you giving them a quarter? They're not your kids. And he said, you don't know where those kids come from. He said, I don't want them to leave feeling less than you feel. I want them to feel the same way. So I grew up with that same value. When I came in contact with a child, I don't know their background, so I want to make them all feel special. And that gave me the joy and the pleasure of working with kids to have a transformative involvement in kids' lives.
And you've seen that transformation right in front of you, really.
Yes, I mean, I've received so many awards working with the kids. I work with special education kids. I work with kids that have many challenges, emotional disturbance, other behavioral challenges. Some kids that some people say, ooh, why do you work with those type of kids? But those are the kids that I've seen. I've really changed their lives in so many ways. Kids that other people said they're going to be a drain on society. These are some of the kids when I worked with early in my career who've gone on to college. The other day I was in my neighborhood and a kid pulled over. He's now a man. He said, Mr. Webster, I want to thank you for what you did for me as a kid. He said, I didn't get it then, but because of you, I didn't go to prison and I didn't get in trouble. He said, I will never forget the things that you did for me.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I want to be like him when I grow up.
Well, okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So your drive to help others helped inspire a book. But let me ask, why do you focus on athletes here?
I focus on athletics because my uncle got me involved in basketball as a mechanism to keep me and my cousins out of trouble.
Right.
And we didn't realize it at the time, but we were on that journey to get an athletic scholarship. As I moved into high school and I got better at playing sports, all of a sudden college coaches started knocking on my door from Georgia Tech and Maryland University saying, hey, we want to give you a scholarship. And I was like, wow, they're going to give me a scholarship for doing something I like doing? And subsequently, I got a scholarship to George Washington University. My cousin got a scholarship to Georgetown University. And then I invested in my own kids and taught them the blueprint for success. My son has gone to Harvard on a scholarship. My oldest daughter, Quinnipiac University. We've earned over $1 million in scholarships.
That's amazing. Wow. So it does run in the family. Okay, some of your advice, though, pertains to all students.
Yes.
What is
I mean,
that?
the principles in my book are universal. As a social worker, some of that kind of interwoven that into my book, teaching kids the universal principles of success. I grew up reading a lot of positive thinking books, Think and Grow Rich, and all those types of books. And so I put lessons in this book for all students. Work hard, sit in the front of the class, get good grades, smile at your teacher, just having a pleasing personality, going the extra mile. These are universal principles any child can use in any endeavor in life, especially as they move into adulthood. When you come on a job, you got to get along with your coworkers, social skills. All those types of principles are in my book, and whether you're an athlete or not, a parent can use those principles to help raise a great kid.
Okay, you're on a roll here. Your family got over $1 million in scholarships.
Yes.
Have you got some more tips that you can throw out here without giving away the book? Any other tips?
One of the things I did in terms of my oldest daughter. My oldest daughter was 6'2", had all of the physical attributes to be a good athlete, but she struggled in basketball because she did track and field for 4 years. So when she came back to basketball, she was behind the game. So me and my wife had to pitch her to schools. The other day I was at a basketball camp and one of these veteran players told the girls, don't worry about the coaches, they'll come knocking on your door. That's not true. If you're not a stellar elite athlete, they're not going to come knocking on your door. I'm sorry, you have to go after them. So what my wife and I did, we pitched my daughter to 30 universities just online. We took an email. I catered that email in a certain way and crafted with some slight embellishments, and it got the coaches to call. And out of the 30, 4 coaches called. Quinnipiac University, 4 of them, Coastal Carolina, and they said, come bring her, let us see how she do.
Wow.
I worked with my daughter like we were Rocky Balboa, and I got her ready. And when we went to that one-day workout, she did such a great job. They said, hey, we want to give her a scholarship. She got a $64,000 scholarship to Quinnipiac University, where she just graduated back in May. We didn't have to pay a dime.
Oh,
Well, congratulations, by
Thank
the
you,
way.
thank you. But
Yeah.
my point is, had my wife and I not been proactive and pitched her to the school, she wouldn't have gotten that scholarship. You can't sit back in life and wait for someone to drop an opportunity in your lap. You got to go out there and get
Make it happen.
I think that's a very, very important message for everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so we mentioned that many students don't know where to start when it comes to these scholarships.
Yeah.
What do you tell them?
I'll tell them depending on where they are developmentally. If they're little kids just starting out, and I have some of those elements in my book, I would tell their parents, find a good team in their neighborhood, in their community, whether it be an AAU program, whether it be at the elementary school, but start them there, regardless of the sport. My book is not just about basketball, it's for all sports. Middle school, the kids should be really starting to improve their craft and get better at it, because as they move into high school, that's when the coaches really start to narrowing down the talent of the kids. And a lot of parents don't know that. So get them on good, reputable teams with good coaches who know the process. That's the main thing. And once they put them in that circuit, it takes off. But again, if you don't start early, then you kind of behind the game, because other kids, you look at the Olympics, those girls they've been doing gymnastics since they were little tiny tykes.
Right.
So you have to start them early.
I think it's easy to say that you can see the passion in this man. Thank you for coming in. But before we let you go, we want to take a look at some of the accolades that you have received. USA Today National Hero Award, Men's Health Magazine All-Star Dad of the Year, 2006 National Father of the Year. How does it feel to know that you're making a difference?
I love it. You know, I always tell my kids, we only go through this life one time. And a lot of people make a lot of money. I see other Kardashians, they making all this money, but they're doing silly stuff. Here I am, a social worker, and people like me, we're really transforming people's lives in a positive way. On Facebook, one of the guys said to me, he said, Mr. Webster, he said, when you're gone, these kids will remember you for a long time.
Yeah.
And I can have no greater benefit in my life that when I'm gone, people say that was a man that really made a difference in my life.
That's a legacy.
All right, the
Thank
book
you.
is called How to
Hey,
Successfully
thank you.
Help Your
Appreciate
Student
it.
Athlete Earn a College Scholarship, and you can read more about it on delmarvalife.com. Darryl.